Hi there, Chris Trott, Team TaylorMade. Welcome to the kingdom, our test facility here in Carlsbad, California. What an exciting day it is. In front of me, I'm holding the brand new milled grind 3 wedges. Look at these beauties. As you can see, 2 different finishes. You're going to have the new chrome finish satin. So when you put that down and the sun overhead glares on it, it's not going to strike you in the eye and distract you. Also a black finish, which looks midnight out there, and that is a beautiful look as you put it behind the ball. That's the first thing that you see when you lift up these new wedges. There is also, as we take a deeper look into it and you can peel off the sticker of your brand new wedge, there is also the raw face technology is on there. The milled grind sole is on there, which has changed a fraction that I will come to. And as you appear deeper, you can see the raised micro rib. What does that give us? Let's touch on that initially. As you go to strike golf shots and as you hit this, a new wedge is always going to spin huge amounts. It's one of the best things about when you buy a new wedge. But what about those off-speed? Off-speed would be a 40-yard pitch shot that you put out there. With the raised micro groove technology, that is going to be where you see an increase in spin. So as you loosen up initially and you just bump out your half swings, this time watch the ball fly all the way, and the first thing you'll see, that landed on a downslope but actually grabbed on that very first bounce. And you can see even for a shot that has traveled out there at 55 yards, it's spun 8,900, 9,000 spin. So for those of you who don't understand that, that's a lot of spin on a golf shot where you're just generating the 55-yard speed. And as we could see, land, stop. It's exciting every time you get a new wedge to have that, especially with the new technology that's on the face there. Progression through the sets of wedges is the story. The 60, again, look at the club. The 60 between finger and thumb, really thick there. And you'll see as you move down through the lofts that changes and this part of the golf club becomes thinner. So the CG moves. Also, the hosel length will change slightly all the way now into your 46-degree wedge. So it's a new addition into the low end, and you'll have a shorter hosel on that 46 to move the CG for you. So you've got precise CGs to give you optimal ball flight when it comes to your scoring clubs. Other changes are the par line. Well, what's the par line? That is the top leading edge as it moves down between finger and thumb again here, but the heel section of this wedge, that's much smaller, much more refined. The toe has been changed in the shaping. Another great call out, and I'll show it you on the midnight here. If you actually compare this to the previous model, you can see the bottom groove is now closer to the leading edge, and the leading edge is a bit more square, which means when you play again off center speed chip shots, or you're just looking to catch one low out of the blade, you now really have the low groove hitting that golf ball for you and generating more spin as you just hit your little pitches out there when the club goes down into the turf. That's the next thing you can feel. Low bounce, standard bounce, and the new high bounce. They are your options you're going to be confronted with when you look at this. I have been hitting the low bounce wedge. It's the one that caught my eye. And you can see on the front here, there's what's called a ski. What does that mean? What is a ski? Think about the front tip of a ski. That's what is on the front of this low bounce wedge. So when I go to set up to a golf shot, and if I'm playing a little chip where I want to get down into the turf, the ski and the fact that that club can sit lower is what will enable me to activate the low groove that I've told you about, that's closer to the now squarer leading edge, and also the raised micro rib to really give me good spin numbers on just the 21 through to the 55 off-speed shot. That has got you covered. As you go into the standard bounce, we've added a little bit more camber in this. Okay, brilliant. What does that do for me? Camber is going to allow you and the golf club, especially when you open it up, so it's how this bounce section is raised, it's going to allow it to come out of the turf. We've also added a degree in the center for all our standard bounces and then removed some away from the back. So when you do open it up, it doesn't sit raised because there is no ski on the standard bounce, but it will also allow the camber to come through. Consider that if you consider the standard bounce option. Closing out with a new interesting one in the high bounce option. High bounce is great to get you out of deep bunkers that are heavy sands. If you're someone who gets diggy and can't get the club out of the turf, you know who you are. High bounce is going to be for you. Also off-speed shots, but a little bit longer, like a 90-yarder that you might be trying to take spin off and draw it and knock the spin down. The high bounce is going to help you with that. And if you do open this up, we've cut away some of that bounce from the mill grind sole in the heel area. It's all covered so you don't have to worry about it. All you have to do is test them out and figure out which one is right for you. Keep in mind the oxidization, the rust process. Once you've got in there and you've peeled away that sticker, it's going to oxidize and rust for you. It's going to look amazing against that new satin chrome finish or even the midnight black. I really press you to go out, try these. I'm blown away by them. It's a sleek look behind the ball. It's a beautiful club that TaylorMade have designed, the Mill Grind 3. I'm excited to try it. I think you should be too.